In this video, I'm going to be talking about a pretty interesting question that I got that a lot of people that are about to take the PMP exam have on their mind. And that is, has the PMP exam gotten too easy? Or is it too easy that it's devaluing the certification? I'll address that in this video. But before we get started, I'm Andrew Rumdial. I'm the author of Amazon's best-selling PMP study guide, PMP Exam Prep Simplified. Comes with a 35-hour course, and you get the PMP mindset, the world-famous mindset to pass your exam. Check it out on Amazon. Let's get started. So here's an interesting question. You look on all the forums. By the way, join me on LinkedIn, all right? Link below. Join me on LinkedIn. You'll see me say congratulations to the hundreds or thousands of people that pass every single week with my material. If you need some encouragement. So you join me on LinkedIn. Okay, you see me saying congratulations to a ton of folks every single day that pass the exam. You see me on the live stream saying congratulations. Did you had a piece of cake or had a couple of beers, something like that, on the live streams every Tuesday night, by the way. And then the question comes that I got today that I've gotten quite a few of is the exam too easy? And today I had an interesting conversation with one of the instructors here that teaches our live classes. And he said to me, Andrew, a lot of people are passing, like almost everyone is passing. And has this certification become too easy from what it was? And is this going to devalue it? If you want to stop the video right now, the answer is absolutely not. All right, definitely not. And that's the answer. But let's elaborate if you're still here. So let's talk about the current exam versus the old exam. For something to be easy, you got to compare it against something else. So when somebody says, has this exam gotten too easy from when I got certified? Well, that means you're comparing the current exam to the older exam. Now, the older exam actually had a smaller knowledge base. You see, if you look at previous PMP exam, the 2018 exam that was based on the PMBOK Guide 6th edition only, was only based on the PMBOK Guide. All you needed to do was basically memorize the PMBOK Guide, which was a horrible book to read, and it still is. That's why people bought my book. So all you had to do was know one study guide or one book, basically, PMBOK Guide, and you basically had to memorize the whole damn book and you would pass the exam. Because you only had to know one type of project management. You only had to know traditional project management. Come 2021, when the exam would take a massive update, they would say, PMI would come on and say, well, 50% of it is traditional, 50% is, the other 50 is going to be hybrid and traditional, hybrid and agile projects. So what PMI did was they didn't remove what was in the old exam. They just added more to it. In other words, they kept your traditional project, which is based on that 49 processes that you would find in the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, or what's now called Process Group or Practice Guide. Same book, by the way, had PMBOK Guide 6th edition, Process Group or Practice Guide, same damn book. So you still need to know your 49 processes, but now you need to know all the agile processes, artifacts, ceremonies, terms, and whatever. So now you need traditional, agile, and hybrid. Take my word on this. I write the books on them. All the best-selling books I wrote on them. My study guide, this is the biggest it's been. This is bigger than the study guide from the 2 previous exams I wrote it for. Okay, so what's happening is the knowledge base that you have to study for the current exam is bigger. It's a bigger knowledge base. So what do I mean by that? Well, what I'm trying to tell you guys is if you studied for this exam maybe 3 years ago, 2020, 2019, and so on, you studied less versus the new exam, you're studying more, or the current exam, you're studying more. They didn't have to learn Agile. Meet a PMP who was previous 2021 and ask them about Agile. They probably wouldn't know what it is because they didn't study it unless they actually work in Agile. Take my word on that. So the knowledge base is bigger. Now, let's talk about the actual test. Is the actual test easier than what it was then? Well, I'll tell you guys something. I've been teaching this since 2008. The current exam you guys are taking right now is less memorization, more understanding of the concepts, all right? Less memorization, more understanding. You guys don't have formulas too much to memorize. Before it did. There used to be a book called The Formulas of the PMP. That's how much formulas there was many years ago. The exam is less memorization, and because of that, you guys don't have to sit there memorizing ITTOs or inputs, tools, techniques, and output, but you need to understand more. So if memorization is your thing and understanding isn't, then the exam is harder than it was before. But if you guys understand the concepts really well, you know the mindset that I created in the study guide, in my video course, in my live class, if you know that very well, the exam is easy. And that's why people are passing easy, because the mindset that I created, the mindset that helps so many of you guys pass, the mindset that gets you to understand the scenario, that mindset is what's, quote unquote, somewhat making it easy, because you understand it more. You understand that scenario more. Versus back in the days, you had to memorize a bunch of stuff. Listen, I've taught PMP for a long time. You take the previous exam, I would tell you guys, memorize that. All of doing, memorize that, because that's what you needed to know to pass the damn test. Nowadays, you don't have to memorize anything. All you got to do is understand it, know the mindset, and you're going to pass. Now, so in the bigger picture, this exam is more about understanding, less memorization. The old exam was not so much so understanding and more memorization. Which one do you think is easier? In my opinion, that one was, because all I had to do was really just spend a lot of time memorizing it. This one, I just got to understand it. You see, PMI was right what they did here. This is something I totally agree on. You would have people that become PMP certified that just didn't understand anything. They just memorized the book and they passed. They were PMP certified. The current PMP exam, you can't pass it if you don't know how to apply that mindset. You don't know how to apply the concepts that you learn. If you know how to do that, you will pass this exam. If you don't know how to do that, you will fail. Now, there's a lot of people that fail this exam. They may not come forward and celebrate with the cake and the beer like the folks that are passing, but there's a lot of people that fail. Take my word on this. If everybody was passing like you guys think, oh, there are way too many people passing, PMI would have done something and reduced that passing rate. They would have made the exam harder. So people are failing. Maybe the people that are passing are more vocal. But take my word on this, guys. This exam is not any easier than it was before. I would even bet it's probably harder. Listen, in my opinion, I would say this. I personally would prefer to take the old exam than this exam, because I think the old exam would have been easier for me than this current exam. So if you guys have passed your PMP and you completely disagree with what I'm saying, put it in the box, put it in the comments. I'd love to argue with you. If you do agree with what I'm saying, put it in the comments. Let me know what you think, especially if you have passed your exam. I would love to get your input on this question. And if you know somebody taking the exam, guys, hey, share this video with them. Maybe they're going to get some value out of it. And if you got some value out of it, how about if you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like. And if you're looking to pass your PMP, check out my live classes. Links below. Check out this book on Amazon to get your copy. Make sure that you pass your exam, and I'll see you in the next video.